Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Elizabeth Omori. President Muhammadu Buhari has granted audience to the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed. Status correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the visit is in furtherance of the ongoing strategic engagement by the United Nations with critical stakeholders aimed at finding lasting solutions to the challenges affecting the West African sub-region. Before consulting President Buhari, the UN Deputy Scribe, accompanied by the Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, had visited 5 ECOWAS countries. Discussions centered on the unconstitutional changes of government in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso. Details of the high-level engagement held behind closed doors were not disclosed. It would be recalled that last Thursday, the new president of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Aliou Touré, had confirmed to President Buhari that the military transition in Mali and Burkina Faso is on course, but a lot of attention is required on the situation in Guinea. In other news, lack of financial autonomy at the local government level has since been described as the bane of development at the grassroots. Addressing this issue and finding ways of improving local government administration is the reason for a conference by the National Association of Heads of Local Government Administration in Abuja. Ekene Undulwe reports.
Local government areas in Nigeria are constitutionally favored with a plethora of concepts that will bring development closer to people at the grassroots level. Reality, however, shows that their hands are tied due to lack of financial autonomy. 300 representatives from local government areas across the country are attending this conference in Abuja, and how to fast-track development at the grassroots is their major concern.
We have to address the ill and the challenges at the grassroots sincerely.
Local governments will be more vibrant and strengthened if it's granted financial autonomy.
Abdurrahman Marafa is the new national president of the association, and strengthening local government administration in the country is his target.
Local government as a grassroots governing agent need to be anchored, need to be supported, and need to be encouraged to look like a passion for each and everyone assist in the local government in ensuring that we have taken our respective communities to the greatest height.
As they leave this conference, members of the association have no doubt that they have a huge task ahead. Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Away from local government administration, the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission has concluded plans to train 916 Kogi youth in the acquisition of different skills to enable them become self-reliant. The managing director of the commission, Abubakar Sadiq Yalwa, made this known during a 2-day workshop for master trainers in bringing Kogi, the Kogi state capital. Abdullah Umaru Ilalu reports.
The Youth Transformation Program of Hyperdeck is meant for graduates and non-graduates who are to be trained for 3 and 6 months on different skills for self-reliance. Abubakar Sadiq Yalwa, represented, explained that the Commission keyed into the President Muhammadu Buhari's youth empowerment initiatives by adopting the youth-centric approach toward delivering on its mandate of providing succor to communities ravaged by the prolonged effects of hydroelectric power production. He added that Hyperdeck has carefully designed the program, which mark a major milestone in assisting the youth to learn preferred skills that will enable them contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic development of their respective environment.
This program is for youth. It's for all of you. This will make you and prepare you to face challenges in life and to improve your lives also physically, mentally, spiritually, economically, and even socially.
Other stakeholders at the occasion explained that through initiatives like this, the attention of the youth can be refocused to divert their attention away from the negative tendencies in the society.
The Commission has designed 36 different trade areas, of which the applicants have selected different trade areas of their choice. I cannot count the number of times I've attended programs by Hyperdeck that have direct impact on our lives, and especially the youth.
They called on all the participants to take their training seriously to achieve the desired result. Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
The United Nations Development Programme has commended Nigeria's effort at promoting climate resilience, agriculture and food security. Details with Musa Aliu.
For almost half of a decade, the United Nations Development Fund and the government of Nigeria have been supporting rural farmers to mitigate the impact of climate change on their agricultural activities. The 5-year project implemented in 7 states of Adamawa, Gombe, Nasarawa, Benue, Jigawa, Kano and Katsina State. Under the project, farmers, mostly women, were exposed to farming techniques, water management, marketing and value addition.
Introduced dry season farming in some riverine communities in Benue, where they don't used to engage in dry season farming, but the project introduced them to it. So when there is no rain, they are also farming vegetables and other staple crops.
More than 90,000 direct jobs and 800,000 indirect jobs have been created through various income-generating activities to boost the beneficiaries' livelihood.
And this project is more on adaptation. It helped our smallholder farmers in those respective states that the project was implemented to increase their capacity for them to be able to cope with the issue of climate change vigorously.
Several years in
UNDP Deputy Resident Coordinator Lillian Dinku said the project had laid the foundations for climate change response in the country through the development of national food security policy and institutional structures. As the project ends, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture appreciated the support and dedication of all development partners and state project teams as they collaborate with local communities to take action against land degradation and profile long-term solutions to food security in Nigeria. Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Kogi State Government and the World Bank as well as the NCARES are currently in a partnership which will provide integrated support to 330 farmers within Kogi West Senatorial Zone. The initiative has been flagged off with the distribution of agricultural and farm inputs to the beneficiaries.
The decision by the World Bank in collaboration with NGCARES to support states of the Federation is necessitated by the effect of COVID-19. Agricultural aids to farmers include fertilizers, cassava, and other inputs that can improve livelihood. In Kogi State, the program has now been flagged off in the Western Senatorial District in addition to the Eastern and Central Districts through the Fadamatu project. The state coordinator NGKS, Sani Mohammed, performed the ceremony on behalf of the state governor, Yahya Bello, at Insolu.
The state government decided to key into the NTA program to provide this resources so that you can improve your yield, you can add value to what you have produced.
330 farmers cutting across Yagba West and East, Wupamuru, as well as Kababunu benefited from the initiative.
There is no money to maintain our farm, but right now I know it will be easier for us to maintain it now.
The one I've been planting did not give me so much fruit, but I believe as they explained this one to us, it will yield and change my life and the life of my children.
They may appear dry outside, but if you plant it, it will grow. Because it is hardy, it can resist drought. It has a yield of 30 tons. We have experimented with it for the past 5 years.
Kogi State government, however, expects a multiplier effect on the investments in a short period of farming. From Insolu, Western Senatorial District, Francis Sudojo, NTA News.
To security, the Inspector General of Police Usman Akali Baba has ordered the deployment of watertight security to cover all schools, hospitals, health facilities and critical national infrastructure around the country. A statement by the First Public Relations Officer Olumoyiwa Adejobi says the IGP gave the directive while reviewing the security situation of the nation via reports from commands and formations across the country. The IGP further tasked strategic police managers at various levels to prioritize the use of intelligence gathering, particularly traditional and local intelligence, to locate criminal hideouts and flush out the bandits before they strike. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force aircraft have struck a terrorist gathering at Kurebe in Shiroro local government of Niger State after intelligence revealed that the terrorists had assembled for an important meeting hosted by Boko Haram terrorist commander Aminu Dunia. Sources revealed that the airstrikes were conducted over the weekend resulted in the death of many terrorists, though it remains unclear if Aminu Dunia was also neutralized in the strike. The strike at Kurebe comes barely hours after coordinated joint air and ground operations neutralized several terrorists operating around Damba Galbi axis in Chukun local government area of Kaduna State, with Nigerian army troops laying siege around the location while NAF aircraft carried out the airstrikes. Members of interagency collaboration among security organizations in Yobe State has continued to yield more positive results as government in the state has handed over a head of cattle recovered from suspected rustlers to the rightful owners. Yunusa Sulaiman reports.
The two suspects who allegedly rustled the cattle from Borno State were intercepted and taken into custody by security forces in Yobe State after exhibiting questionable characters. After a standing security committee appointed by government in the state deliberated and followed all due process, identified a 64-year-old Francis Kohul from Mubi in Adamawa State as the rightful owner of the 33 recovered cattle and officially hands them over to him.
The government of Yobe State is not only assisting security agencies, but also organizing the platform where our security agency will have a better forum for interagency synergy, coordination, and collaboration, so that crime can be neutralized.
We have to thank the security for their efforts, because their efforts have proved that in Yobe here we have a good security.
Reacting to the development, Francis Kohul says the cattle from Mubi moved to Borno State for grazing before they were stolen, hence commended Yobe State government and security forces for their efforts at ensuring that cattle rustlers are denied freedom of movement in the state. These suspects, according to authorities in the state, will be charged to court for prosecution. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Still on security, members of Operation Zenda of the Benue State Police Command have nabbed two suspected kidnappers in a community along New Otukpo Road, Makurdi. Charles Alpha Abba reports.
Commissioner of Police Walid Abbas and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Security, Paul Himba, explained that 2 out of a 4-man gang of suspected kidnappers made their Waterloo along New Otukpo Road, where Operation Zenda of the Benue State Police Command intercepted them. They said the kidnappers had, over time, collected millions of naira from their victims as ransom.
We set out our drag nets. Unfortunately enough, the last operation they had, while they were trying to escape, although they couldn't succeed, while they were trying to escape, one of their telephone dropped. And that was what gave us the lead. The kingpin is on the run. We are very close to him, and by the special grace of before the week runs out, we'll get at him too.
They'll be operating in Makurdi here. They specialize in kidnapping women. Their victims are usually women.
Former council chairman of Vandekya local government, Ibrahim Ano, narrated how his wife was in the den of the kidnappers for 9 days.
Being a mother that left a child of 2 years, I have to endure with them because they were communicating with me. They asked me for 25 million naira. When I complain, they say that I'm a businessman, that they have known me for a number of years. They know what I was and what I wear and today what I am.
How much
so
you pay?
At the end of the day, I gave them 3 million naira with a beg.
Mr. Saondo, whose wife was also a victim of the alleged kidnappers, said she was abducted with his car and held for 7 days in their custody before security operatives secured her release. Two of the apprehended kidnappers, Solomon Yove, 25, and Choho Teyema, 30, who confessed to the crime. Meanwhile, the facility around old NEPA quarters, Makudi, used by suspected kidnappers, has been demolished by the state government. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
And no fewer than 442 parcels of crystal methamphetamine have been intercepted at the Sako shed of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. The 11.90 kilograms consignment concealed in dried fish was set for Dubai United Arab Emirates before it was intercepted by NDLEA operatives, with 1.45 kilogram of cannabis seized within that period. 2 suspects were arrested in connection with the seizure. Meanwhile, 7 suspects have been arrested in Enugu, Kaduna, Kano, Lagos and Abia states for their alleged trafficking of psychoactive substances and other illicit drugs. The Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 6, Kunola Kamaldin, has charged personnel of the Niger Police Force to be friendly in their approaches with the public while discharging their statutory duties. The AIG gave the charge while decorating 6 newly promoted superintendents of police at the Zone 6 headquarters, Calabar. Maureen Leo Ajom reports.
Recalling the recent development where the Nigeria Police Force has dismissed 3 of its officers for conduct contrary to the purpose for which the force was established and the mandate of the IGP administration, he charged the officers to maintain decorum in the discharge of their duties.
And we have spoken to the men to be civil to the members of the public, because these are the people that we are working for. We don't need to make them to hate us. We have advised them on how to behave so that the people, the public, will know that we are for them.
The AIG Zone 6 also charged perpetrators of electoral violence to desist henceforth or be prepared to face the consequences therein, assuring Nigerians of a peaceful conduct of 2023 general elections.
The message from the IGP is on how we are going to conduct this election free and fair without any favor to anybody, and how we are going to reduce thuggery and violence. And these are the messages that have been passed to all the leaders of the political parties and the members of the public, educating them on why peaceful election is important.
Among the 6 newly promoted officers is the Zone 6 Public Relations Officer Nelson Okpabi, who reiterated their commitment to deliver their duties in line with the provisions of the Nigerian Police Force Act. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on NTA, and don't forget you can watch us live on our website nta.ng/live, as well as other social media platforms displayed on the screen. Now let's move to Lagos, where Hingino is standing by with some reports. Hello, Hingino.
Elizabeth. The federal government says apart from intensifying measures towards the release of all the train passengers abducted 6 months ago, the commencement of commercial services on the Abuja-Kaduna rail line depends largely on putting in place a robust security mechanism that will forestall a repeat of the ugly scenario. The Minister of Transportation, Muazu Jaji Sambore, quoted this in Lagos, while also giving an update on the commencement of freight services on the standard gauge of the Lagos-Ibadan rail line. Michael Olale reports.
Many wins in the rail subsector are almost undermined by security challenges, but the zeal to overcome this problem is ever strong. Apart from exploring options to return to the beautiful old days of the rail transportation, resolving all hindrance to commence freight services on the standard gauge of the Lagos-Ibadan rail line is important to the minister. He gave assurance that delaying takeoff will be addressed as the project is key to the overall infrastructure development agenda of the federal government as contained in its 2021 to 2025 master plan.
This administration has underscored the importance of infrastructure by creating what is called the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. If you know, to drive certain priority legacy projects. There is no administration in this country that has invested in infrastructure like the Buhari administration.
On changing the tide of the trying times, which has stalled services on the Abuja-Kaduna rail line, the minister said government is responding positively with security force in pulling forward.
We are also looking at the best world standard security system to put in place to ensure that forever such a thing will never happen again.
Expanding the rail network, completing ongoing projects and enhancing the welfare of rail workers, the minister assures are progressing. In Lagos, Michael Alaleye, NTA News.
Lagos State government will continue to leverage on vast experience of the United States of America to ensure and enhance good governance, safe business environment, and conducive foreign investments. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave the assurance while receiving the new United States Consul General, Will Stevens, at the State House in Marina, Lagos. Musa Toliet completes the report.
Between Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the U.S. Consul General Will Stevens border largely on collaborative efforts to stem the tide of insecurity in Lagos and by extension the entire country, especially as Nigerians count down to 2023 general elections.
It's really about our people. It's really about ensuring that we can use our opportunity, to better the lives of our citizens, our businesses, in both jurisdictions and both countries. We will, I'm sure, over the period, deepen the relationship further and build, visible, clear visions for our citizens.
There were also discussions on strengthening trade relations and partnership in education, entertainment, cultural engagement, and other initiatives capable of attracting more investors to critical sectors of the economy.
Where we engage with Lagos State is similar to how we engage with the rest of Nigeria, where we're focused on three primary sectors. First and foremost here in Lagos State, as the Consul General, trade and investment, promoting bilateral trade and investment, helping Nigerian companies export to the U.S., U.S. companies export here, U.S. companies invest here, and Nigerian companies investing in the U.S., which raises all of our prosperity and helps us to improve relations, because those kind of economic relations are really the foundation of any partnership.
Consul General Will Stevens is the senior U.S. government representative in Nigeria responsible for leading and overseeing government activities that will enhance trade and investment relations across 17 southern states in the country. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Nationwide will continue from Benin Network Center after this commercial break. Please stay with us.
And welcome to the Benin Network Center on Nationwide. Edo State government will always welcome any individual, group, or non-governmental organizations willing to partner with it in taming the activities of human trafficking. This is the message the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, took to the graduation and presentation of starter packs for 30 women and youths from 3 senatorial districts of Edo State who were trained on various skills. Budakobong Achibong reports.
There are individuals and non-governmental organizations who are complementing efforts of the government at all levels to improve the living standards of women and youths in the country through skills. This, in no small measure, is contributing positively in reducing prostitution, illegal migration, and other social vices that women are prone to. Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu told the benefiting group from the latest skill acquisition training and empowerment in handbag mark making to become not only self-reliant but employers of labor.
What is available now is your work, your God-given talent. Ours is just to create space for you to exploit and exhibit God-given talent in you.
The humanitarian and philanthropist, the initiator of Walera Women and Youth Empowerment, Haja Mayam Abubakar, believes that with the skill, some of them who are Libya returnees have no business seeking to migrate illegally out of the country anymore.
They all have their starter pack now, they have learned the trade. What they'll just be doing is, okay, I have something to do, no need of going to risk my life. They know it's a risk, but when they have something to do, they will not want to take a chance. They will not want to leave.
I'm going out there to also train those that are interested.
There were paper presentations on how the trainees can succeed in their businesses and sustain their families. The occasion was also used to honor some individuals who have contributed to humanity. In Benin, Udrakobong Achibong, NTA News.
And now to security. Criminal activities, experts say, is seasonal, and the Edo State Police Command is currently doing its best to contain the one trending now, which is the stealing of parked cars. The command is therefore advising car owners to be extra vigilant to avoid being victims. Ogochuka owner has an update on the criminal situation in the state in the first half of August 2022.
The Public Relations Officer of the Command, Chidi Nwabuzo, says although the reported cases are a handful, caution is the watchword.
The major one is removing of vehicles from where parked, but we've actually worked out a plan. He has given order, he has worked out plans, modalities, and crime fighting schemes for the area commanders and his men, the divisional police officers and their men, to work on how to checkmate this very particular crime and nip it in the bud.
He says the slogan hasn't changed.
Good people of Edo State to work with the police, to see the police as their own, to come out with information wherever they have it. When they see something, they should say something.
The public is advised to contact the command with these emergency numbers when the need arises. In Benin, Ogochuka Ona, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja. So much, Obey, and nice to see you. The Deputy National Women Leader of the All Progressives Congress, Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim, says the time has come for Nigerian youth to get more involved in the nation's governance and democratic processes. This was at the party's youth meeting in Kano. Abdullah Mustafa reports.
This is an assembly of party members under the auspices of the APC Youth Stakeholders Forum. The Kano meeting is to re-strategize and exchange ideas on how to promote the policies of the governing party and ensure its victory in the upcoming general elections. Also discussed is the future of the Nigerian youth after the elections, especially the need for increased participation in governance.
Stimulation, youth inclusiveness and innovation are key priorities in the development of any state because it's the agenda of For
the APC Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim, Nigerian youth have come of age. She, however, challenged them to be resilient and patriotic in serving their land as done by young politicians of the 20th century.
We must continue to organize and mobilize our youth to advance the struggle against poverty and unemployment.
She and other speakers also stressed the importance of permanent voter card, which they described as indispensable in future elections. In Kano, Abdullah Mustafa, NTA News.
The Al-Habibiyya Islamic Society, with the support of the U.S. Embassy, is providing a 2-week mentorship and skills acquisition program for teenagers. Abdullah Ajiya tells us more.
With strong principles of bequeathing legacies of morality, hard work, honesty and skills in the younger generation, The Al-Habibiyya Islamic Society, in its 10th Free Teenagers Workshop, this time has the collaboration of the US Embassy, who shares in the ideals of guiding the youths while also exposing them to myriads of opportunity being provided by the US.
Drugs, crime, everything, almost every home you see this. And we have determined that we want to change this thing. All these things will be addressed and to be able to do things rightly.
It's a people-to-people partnership, and we believe in educating more Nigerians. It's one of our core mission goals. And for young people, we believe that there are so many opportunities out there, especially in the US.
Skills in ICT, skills in tailoring, whatever your mind can do, you open your mind to it, you encourage it.
These teenagers, numbering over 100, drawn from different parts of Abuja and environs, have come with high hopes and expectations to learn new things beneficial to them.
I would love to have the skill that they are going to teach us so as to become somebody who will help others in the future.
I came here to learn new things, something Islamic. Obviously, we learn new things every day, just have the experience.
Speakers and the conveners of the workshop encouraged the participants to remain steadfast while taking advantage of the thematic focus of the program, which is teenagers living positively different. Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Away from mentorship, the National Orientation Agency in Nasarawa State is interfacing with communities on exposing criminal activities and securing their immediate environment by being vigilant. This is coming against the background of reported cases of recruitment of child soldiers by terrorist groups in some parts of the country. Bilkisu Umar reports.
Despite federal government's commitment to containing the security challenges in the country, the ugly menace keeps reoccurring and taking dangerous dimension. The most recent is the recruitment of child soldiers to support the terror groups. The State Director of NOA, Priscilla Gondwalo, said the agency will not relent but will continue to enlighten residents to be more conscious now than ever before and step up efforts to stem the tide of insecurity in the state and the nation at large. She explained that the recruitment of child soldiers is taking alarming dimension in some parts of the country, stressing the need for unflinching support of all to fight the scourge.
It is not the responsibility of one person. It is not the responsibility of the governor alone. It is not the responsibility of the security agencies alone. As a matter of fact, we think that a lot of responsibility lies on parents.
The Emir of Lafia represented and other guests at the meeting enjoined parents to pay more attention to their wards, insisting that child soldiering portends great danger to the nation. The NOA boss was at the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Lafia, on partnership to create aggressive awareness on the dangers of recruiting child soldiers into terrorism. In Lafia, Bilkisu Umar Gurku, NTA News.
And for more reports on Nationwide, let's join Felicia in our Jos Network Center. Hello, Felicia.
Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome to Jos. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wasi, has assured his constituents that key players are redoubling efforts to address incessant attacks in the communities. The Deputy Speaker, who visited the affected villages, said stringent measures are being put in place to prevent recurrence of the attacks in Wasi local government area. Kellet Guchin reports.
The Deputy Speaker, alongside Chairman of Wasi local government area, key players in the communities and APC supporters visited more than 10 villages within the 4 districts of the constituency, where he commiserated with families of victims. In all the villages visited, the lawmaker assured the people of improved security and support. He was at the palace of Emir of Wasi to intimate him about measures being put in place to ensure security of lives and property, and called on the people to give the security agencies maximum support to fish out the perpetrators of attacks and bring them to book. The Emir of Wase, Muhammad Sambo Haruna II, appreciated the efforts of the Deputy Speaker in combating banditry and other forms of criminality in Wase and Plateau State as a whole. The Deputy Speaker was also at the headquarters of Operation Safe Haven, where he requested the deployment of additional troops to Wase and Kanam local government areas to complement efforts of ground troops, the police, and local vigilantes.
I want to say thank you, including the intelligence community, the vigilante. I want to say I use this opportunity to extend our gratitude on behalf of our constituents to say thank you, and that will continue to show more wisdom and protection to our troops.
Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Ibrahim Ali, assured him that his request will be looked into and necessary action taken. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
The vision of fire service as a paramilitary agency is to produce first-class professional firefighters that are combat-ready to handle disaster. In realizing this vision, the agency is training its staff on advanced competency course in Jos. Alisabotu Kai Andrew has details.
Gathered here are participants and instructors for the advanced competency course designed to build their capacities with requisite knowledge, skills, and techniques to handle disaster.
As the world is evolving, so it's also firefighting. We are going to take the things as it is today in modern firefighting.
We pray and hope that we will do the best to save lives and property.
Declaring the training open, Governor Simon Lalong represented, says his administration is engaging the agency to produce professionals who are well equipped to handle any kind of task set before them.
It's not just any form of approach, but a form of approach that has to do with the teaching, the learning, and the practices of fire combat.
For Plateau State Fire Service, the training is apt, putting into consideration the menace of fire outbreak and disaster.
Fire service operates like any uniform agency. Therefore, is to produce a first-class professional firefighters that are combat ready to handle any kind of disaster.
The advanced competency course is in collaboration with the National Fire Academy, Abuja. In Jos, Elizabeth Kai Andrew, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. Nationwide continues shortly in Abuja.
What are we doing as a nation to first of all settle our teeming populace, especially
NTA's political package with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I am Fisa Ogunkwe. Well,
you have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
There's a lot of questions. A lot of questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling of their.
In fact, between June 1st and July 17, 19-point-something billion has left the coffers of the NDDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
Every day in our country, senior citizens are discriminated against, disparaged, and treated with disdain by those who ought to respect them. We are all complicit in the way we have treated the elderly members of our society as institutions, families, or members of a shared society. Every time senior citizens get offered less than they deserve for the work they do because they are old, poor, and desperate, we are failing them. Senior citizen loses a child, and wow, they must be responsible for their death. Every time a senior citizen gets labeled a witch, is called mad, and shooed out of the way because they have no memory of where they were headed and look unkempt, we are failing them. We say, abeg, it all old, make it do die, make everybody for rest. To ailing parents, uncles and aunts. That's discrimination. That is neglect. When you see an old woman getting beat up and being accused of witchcraft, do not turn the other way. Stop stop and teach people that white hairs, wrinkles, and hunchbacks are no evidence of witchcraft. Aging comes with a memory decline. Sometimes it's not out of place to have elderly people lose their way, forget details of their lives, and how to properly take care of themselves. When they get to this stage, they deserve your empathy, not scorn. Our ailing fathers, mothers, aunties, and uncles are deserving of quality healthcare and peaceful transition. Make their last moments memorable. Senior citizens have paid their dues. They deserve your care. Stop all forms of discrimination against them today.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and celebrate
the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer. It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nambi Odiko.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori. Thanks for staying with the NTA. Zamfara State Governor Bello Mohammed has tasked political, traditional and religious leaders in the state to champion the COVID-19 vaccination campaign in their respective areas for optimized coverage of the target population. The governor handed the task while flagging off COVID-19 mass vaccination campaign at the State Government House. Kusau Jamilu Ibrahim reports.
The SCARES 3.0 strategy, which is an optimized version of the SCARES 2.0, is an initiative by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency aimed at accelerating integrated COVID-19 vaccination and primary healthcare services across the country. Governor Bello Mohammed received the job, which marks the flagging up of the massive vaccination exercise across the 50 local government areas of the state. The governor noted that, despite the appreciable progress achieved in the previous rounds of the COVID-19 vaccination in the state and the thorough case the state has maintained over the long period of time, there is an ardent need for better commitment from all stakeholders with a view to bridging the identified implementation gaps.
We are going to review our performance in our local government area. The first three best performing local government area will receive an award of excellence. Similarly, the least performing local government area will be required to explain the reason of falling.
Zamfara State Commissioner for Health Aliyu Abubakar Tsafi, who explained that the COVID-19 administration strategy in the state has been reviewed for wider coverage of the target persons, said people should not lower their guards or give in to complacency as the COVID-19 virus is still very much around.
Going by the data available, only 3 LGS have vaccination coverage of 80%. Nearly 11 LGS performing optimally in terms of COVID vaccination coverage.
The Executive Secretary of the State Primary Healthcare Board, Dr. Samaila Tukur, says that only 26% of the target persons have been so far fully vaccinated across the state. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
To disaster management and intervention, the federal government has assured victims of flood disaster across the country of the provisions of relief materials that will cushion the effects of their hardship. And the National Emergency Management Agency has reached out to such victims in Jigawa State. Hawa Haliru Haruna reports.
Jigawa experienced the worst of flood disasters in recent years, resulting to the loss of 18 lives and displacement of many communities. The delivery of the relief materials coincides with visits of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development alongside the Director General NEMA to Governor Badaru. The NEMA officials there after handed over the materials to the flood victims, beginning with the Hadija Emirate, the worst hit area by the disaster.
This will be taken as a wake-up call for each and every one of us to brace up to the reality of climate change and the need for comprehensive, all-inclusive, people-centered measures to mitigate its negative impact.
I am very happy and glad I was given 2 bags of cement, roofing sheet, mats, and nails.
Jigawa State Government expressed its appreciation to the federal government for the immediate succor to the victims. From Dusi, Hawa Halara Haruna, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi has launched a 2-day capacity building training organized by the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA on emergency and disaster preparedness with stakeholders, commending the initiative aimed at mitigating the damages done by flood in parts of Ebonyi State. Ijoma Peter Moti reports.
The 2-day capacity building training for Ebonyi State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, staff of the Ministry of Human Capital Development and Monitoring, as well as other stakeholders in Ebonyi State on emergency preparedness mitigation and response at home and workplace, no doubt is timely, while commending the effort of the federal government for all the interventions. Ebonyi State Governor Chief David Umahi, represented by the State Commissioner for Human Capital Development and Monitoring, assured that participants will make good use of the knowledge they will acquire from the training in saving lives, especially during emergency situations.
We want all of us to know what you are expected to do at any point in time that you have any hazards, because knowledge is power.
It is an established fact that if you have employees up to 10, you need to have emergency preparedness plan.
As I'm talking here, flood finished my farm this year. But what I learned here about not to block roads, water roads.
I have learned that when there is an accident, if somebody is unconscious, there are a lot of things you do to resuscitate the person.
There was a practical demonstration on how to help an accident victim in Abakaliki. Ijoma Peter Wante, NTA News.
As part of its concept of poverty reduction and promotion of self-reliance through the administration of Zakat, Nasrul Faith Society Kaduna State chapters disbursed more than 6 million naira to some of their members considered among the needy. Chuken Wodung reports.
36 people have benefited from the gesture, ranging from electronics, food items, farm input, and cash. The association organized the program in line with administration of Zakat as enshrined in the Holy Quran.
I will utilize it very well. I will use it to sell, to cater for my children, for my husband, and all others.
I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy. And I pray for them that God will bless everybody.
Governor Nasir El-Rufai describes steps taken by the NASFAT as one of the surest way of uplifting people living below poverty line.
This is a very good gesture, and they are setting a very good example to others to emulate.
Organizers of the program said it is an annual event after collections of zakat from wealthy members for distribution to those who are considered needy in the society.
Those who are the donors that Allah has given, who are zakatable now, that Allah has bestowed on them, you understand? And the nisab of zakat is being with them, as in their money has reached zakat nisab. So they should bring out from that.
They call on beneficiaries to utilize what they have collected so that they can also pay their dues next year for others to benefit. To Kenwadung, NTA News.
And it's time to join our sports desk for some sporting stories.